So last year I built this pull-up bar outside, and today I'm going to be expanding on that pull-up bar by adding a set of parallel bars, something I can do dips on, handstands, things like that. It's just really going to be beneficial to my training. If you want to see that video on how I constructed that pull-up bar, I'll put it in the description. You can check it out there. Now, you don't need to build this pull-up bar to have these parallel bars. The only difference between the way you might construct it and I is that I'm going to literally be running one of the bars through my pull-up bar, so I didn't have to buy a fourth post. That's the only difference. Now, some of the things you are going to need is a good tape measure, a good level. I would recommend one that's at least 2 feet long, something to make marks on the wood with, about 3 bags of Quikrete, a wheelbarrow. For the post, you'll need 4 by 4 by 8 pieces of treated wood. I only bought 3 because, like I said before, I'm expanding on my pull-up bar, so one of the posts is already there. For my bars, I'm actually using 2 pieces of fence post. Diameter on them being about 1.5 inches, and the length is 6 foot. You'll need a drill and a 1 3/4 wood drill bit, and you're gonna need a post hole digger. You can use a shovel, but I highly recommend using a post hole digger. It will make the job so much easier. So to save you time, I've already dug my holes and got my wood where I needed them. So we're just gonna go ahead and move on to the next step. So let's talk measurements. So basically the system I'm trying to design here is going to give 2 options of height. One of the heights I want for the parallel bars is 5 feet. The reason I want 5 feet because the top of my shoulder is 5 foot. So when I'm doing dips, I don't want to touch the ground whatsoever. So I want it up pretty high. If I want to do any sort of like swinging motions, I don't want to touch the ground at all. So I'm making the very first height 5 foot off the ground. The other height that I'm going to have is going to be a foot below that. Now that's just for people who don't want to jump way up high just to do some dips. So basically my poles are going to be interchangeable. You can pull one out, put it down to the 4-foot slot if you'd like. So that's kind of the design I'm going with. Now I don't know if you can see this too well, it's getting dark out, but what I did, I want a little clearance from the top just for stability purposes, but I've got 3 inches down. I measured the piece of wood, pretty much split it in half, and then 3 inches down. So this is going to be the top. This intersection right here is the top of the bar. And I know that my drill bit, the midpoint is 3/4 inch. So I just measured 3/4 inch right there. This is where the center of the drill bit's gonna hit. And from that center, I measured 1 foot down and made another mark right there. And basically this is going to be the 5 foot. This is going to be the 4 foot. And my drill bit has a little pre-hole drill in the center of it so that you can pretty much do this. So basically I know that that's where I'm going to land my drill when I start drilling these holes. And then the rest of this, you measure down from here 5 foot. Make the 5 foot mark at the bottom, and that's how you know where in the ground this needs to be flush with. Well, if your ground's uneven, then you have to make adjustments, but basically you're going to line it up that way. What I'm doing now is I'm going to drill the holes on the marks I made. I'm using a drill press at the beginning to kind of get the initial hole made. You don't have to do this, but it's just something to make sure that I keep the holes straight. I don't want them going at an angle or anything like that. But after that, I take a smaller drill bit. It's a 1 3/8 because that's all I got, and I'm using that and my drill to drill all the way through, and then I'm just following that up with the 1 3/4 drill bit that I showed you earlier. I'm doing that because the 1 3/4 drill bit's kind of short, so I needed a longer one to get all the way through, and then I can finish drilling through with the 1 3/4 bit. I know that's kind of confusing, but I'll just show you what I mean. So pretty much like I said, I've already drilled this hole. I've already gotten it all the way through, so this works. I know it works. I used the drill press with this drill bit, the 1 3/4, made my initial mark where I marked it. Basically, I'll drill as deep as I can with this, and then I'm going to use this because it's a bit longer, get all the way through, and then I'll just finish it off with this again. So that's how I'm making my holes. I'm sure you guys will probably think of a more creative and smarter way to do it, but I'm working with what I have right now. So anyways, basically, I'm just working with what I have. If I had the 1 3/8 that was 1 3/4 size, I would use that and just drill all the way through. So if you guys can find a bit like that, use it. It'll probably save you a lot of time. I'm just making this work, so I'm just showing you how I do it. Okay, so basically, what I'm doing is I'm going to make sure my measurements were right. It's 3 inches from the top, the first hole, and then a foot beneath that is another hole. So everything matched up. I'm gonna go ahead and put everything in the ground now. So for this step, pretty much something most of you won't have to do, but since my pull-up bars are already built and I'm just adding onto it for one of the posts, I'm going to make sure that my top hole is 5 feet above the ground, and then 1 foot above, or I'm sorry, 1 foot below that is my 4-foot hole. So I'm going to mark them, and then I'm going to drill them pretty much just the same as I did for the other post, except I have to be really careful to make sure the holes are straight. So I'll be attacking it with the 1 3/4 bit, and then the 1 3/8 bit to make it a bit deeper until I get all the way through. Okay, so obviously you can see it's starting to take shape. We've got the holes drilled through all the posts. So now basically what we're gonna do is level it. We're gonna get this side level, and then we're gonna get the measurements right on the other side and get that side exactly level. I've got one side set up so far. What I basically, Yuna, bring it here. Anyways, as you can see, I got one side set up. So basically what I did was line the holes up, and I'm using both bars, and I'm running them through. I'm leveling it, and then I am going to throw my cement and my Quikrete. You know. Yeah, I've got everything leveled. Something you might run into is the holes that you drill. Basically what I did was, as I was getting this set up right, I sanded them a bit and got it to where everything's running smoothly. I'll probably even have to sand it a bit afterwards when everything's set, but I'm going to get it set first, and then I can smooth it out so everything's running smoothly. Also, a quick note, I had to, can you stop? You're done, all right, cool. I had to do this side first because the pull-up bar is already planted in the ground, basically. So that's already a determined post. So basically, I'm doing each side on its own. It's probably something you'll have to do as well, but once this is set and it's dried, and I make sure it's level, then I will adjust the other side accordingly. So basically I'm doing one side at a time. Okay, yeah, so ignore the barking annoying dog, but I pretty much put up the other side as well, and I have lined up the other side with the side that I already finished, and it is level all the way through, and it's lined up correctly. So I'm going to cement that in. And as you can see, I basically, to get it in place, I've just rigged it up with anything I had. Man, dogs are annoying around here. Only my dog is good. Isn't that right, you? If you're wondering why I'm changing clothes, it's because these are different days. So like I said, I've rigged this up with just like bricks and anything I could find and made sure it was level, and then I'm gonna pour the Quickcrete in, and then I'll have the other side done. My level is 2 feet across, 24 inches across. So I want to line up the center of the pipes 24 inches across for doing dips and other exercises. So I want to make sure it's 24 inches across from the center point of each pipe all the way through, and it's level all the way across. Also, I want to make sure that my posts are lined up with each other. Now your wood might be a bit bent, warped or something like that, so it might not be perfectly lined up, but as long as they're, you know, within reason, it's gonna be all right. So yeah, these dogs, right? Am I right? Am I right? I'm not really worried about it being super aesthetically beautiful. I just want to do dips outside. And winter is coming, so I need to hurry up. Okay, I'm going to pour the Quickcrete now, which is simple and easy. We already did it with the first side, so we're gonna do it with the second side. Vroom. You know. Oh yeah, also, when you pour the Quickcrete, make sure you check the level again, because it may sink. You don't want to do that. And we are almost done. And winter is coming. My dog loves ice. It's so weird. Oh, the ice. Gotta eat the ice.